Hi, hello, g'day, kia ora, welcome to the studio. We've got a busy day today with prompt for the 4th of December, Apothecary label and Quirky cattle dog. Now, I'm sorry, I'm not a dog person, so cats it is. I know our pet cat will love me for it. So we're going to jump straight in, get started, and get to creating. So I've got an A3 piece of craft card, I'd call it a cardstock weight, and I'm going to cut this to 9.5 inches by 9 inches. So that's what we need that for, so we can put that away. I don't need you. Right, so we've got this here. Now I'm just going to double check. We've got the fuzzy side of the cardstock and we've got the smooth side. So I want the smooth side out. We've got 9.5 across and 9 up and down. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my file tab here. And for that, I'm going to use my envelope punch board. So in order to create the top of the tab, I'm going to slide the piece of cardstock in sideways. So this is the side that I want the tab on. And I'm centering up here. It's the only thing you need to remember to create the start of that tab. And then I'm just going to do a 2 inches tab. I think that should be the right size for my side of cardstock. Now if you don't have an envelope tab, envelope punch board, you can of course just cut this by hand. Next thing I need to do is measure 2 inches up here. And it just needs to be small. So I'm just marking that in pencil. And this is my no cut line. So I don't want to cut beyond here. And then because I know the depth of this notch is 3/8 of an inch, I'm just going to mark here 3/8. And then if I line my ruler up from here to there, all three should be in line. And just rule across. Alright, so that's all we need. That's our cutting line there. And then I'm just going to use these scissors because I find they're easier for getting in where it's a tight cut like this. And because I don't want to over cut. And then just following this line, and I'm doing it by hand, doesn't worry me if it's slightly out. And the good thing about cutting by hand is that you can smooth into your curve. Alright, so we've got our tab made and all ready to go. Now what we're going to do is do some scoring to make folding easier. And for that, I'm going to switch it over to the opposite side and grab my scoreboard. upside down because it makes it easier for me. So I am just going to line up the side here with one of the lines and then score down there or up there. So that's that one done. Next thing I need to do is score about 2 inches up. So we can do this way. So that's there. Again, lining up here and just kind of checking, yep, that's 7 inches. So that's spot on. And scoring along there. And because this is quite a thick cardstock, it's like manila folder strength, I am scoring a couple of times. And then the last one we need to do is, so this comes to 9.5, so I need to score at, so 4.5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and my half, and then 1 extra notch. Right, so there we go, that's all the scoring done. That's nice and easy. So now that we've done scoring, we're going to fold and then we'll do some cutting. So first thing we'll do is we'll fold this little wee tab here, and I'll just use my bone folder to help me press that down. We're now going to fold in half. Okay, it's taking that a little bit too far, so we'll just bring it back a smidge. Okay, we're going to have the thinnest of spines in here, but that's okay. So that's that one, and then we're going to fold up this one here. Right. Now, with our scissors, we're going to trim this on the slightest of angles from spreading into this side and meeting up to the point at the top of where we're folding. And I don't want to cut that too far. And then we're going to cut off this section here. So we've now got this. So now to just tie it up a wee bit, you've got the corner rounder. Now this has got 3 corners, I'm using the middle one. Okay, so there we go. That looks awesome. Right, so now we want to age it, make it look like it's been used a lot. So I'm going to go in with, let's do a little bit of vintage photo to start with. And I'm going to do this before I glue anything so that I can get all the edges. Okay, so I've inked around the edge in vintage photo, and then just on kind of the edge there, walnut stain. Now this is something I've been doing for years, ever since I first got into distress oxide or distress inks, is that I like the two-tone effect. So if you haven't tried it, be sure to try it. So now I'm going to stick down this tab, and I've actually got a bulldog clip or file clip, whatever you want to call it, because I just want to clamp this together, because I think it may need it just until the glue catches. I just want to make it really well stuck together. So just on the edge, and we should be good. Right, so there's our little wee file. So now into here, we're going to add a few things. So the first thing we need to add is essentially the mugshot or the police photos. Now, I am really proud of these. I created them in using AI. Like back the second or third thing I created, but I just absolutely love them. So this is my bad cat, my Quirky cat. I'll just cut them by hand. I mean, my story is that this is Big Bad Bobo Rangi. He is a catnip dealing cat on the mean streets of South Auckland, and he's selling catnip to all the little kitties and the cats that need their catnip. And he's doing it, you know, deep market, selling in the back streets and back alleys. And the police are finally onto him because the public have started to complain. Well, not the police, the Annalise, the animal police, because this is a totally made up story and world. And so they're putting together their file on him, you know, so that they can go and arrest him for all his naughty dealings and get him off the street so that all the kitties will be safe and healthy again. In the file, we're going to add some evidence as well as these two mugshots, which even though they're completely different cats, he obviously has disguises because he needs to, you know, hide his identity. What, you know, bad cat wouldn't want to hide who he is. So now I just need to trim where I want these to be. So I'm just going to slice that, and this is like really bad. Don't do as I say. If you don't want to eyeball it like this, then please I mean, this is really bad technique, and this is so not what my perfectionist self wants to do. But I've had a rough couple of days, so we're just going with the flow, and this is good enough. So I'm just now going to use this photo so that hopefully, oh no, this one's going to be a little bit taller. It doesn't matter that they're two different sizes, because I'm sure the Annalise photos are going to end up as different sizes. And last one. Alright. Okay, so now of course we need to vintage photo these. actually, what I want to do is corner round them. Now, yeah, I like that size. So I've just printed these on a very lightweight matte photo paper. It's 110 GSM. Now to hold them on here, I'm going to, now actually before I do that, I want to use, now this is an old date stamp. It ran out last year, 2023, so I've wound it back because I want to give, like, you know, old dates, so it makes it look like, you know, we've been looking for the dude for a while. So let's just put that to there. So that's that done. Now we're gonna clip them together, and these are just gonna go on the front of our folder. And it's our evidential photos, and we can just, you know, see how the police flip through them. Oh, Annalise, sorry. Alright, we can take that off now. That is well and truly stuck. Yep. So what we need to do now is we're going to add some papers into this side. Now I've pulled out, oh, and I've got like some mini envelopes, or a mini envelope. Oh no, there we go, mini envelopes, because I thought these are evidence envelopes, but we'll put those there. I've got too many things I want to do. Alright, so these things here, right, put you aside. I'm going to bring this up again. So now it doesn't matter what size we cut them, as long as they are less than the width and the height. So I like this. Now this was actually a scrap that my scrap partner Tanya sent me during the year. And I just thought it was, because it's got the dates there, I thought that was really cool. And it will fit in there perfectly. It's just a bit thick, a bit wide. So what I'm going to do is trim this so that it's just on the side of the numbers. So there we go. One done. That was quick and easy. So now these are various different bits of paper that I've just got in my stash that I thought looked pretty cool. Thought I would include them. So we want them at like at least 4.5 or less. So cut the pages down to size, corner rounded, inked the pages. Then I've stamped a witness statement across the top. I've just used some random script stamps to make it look like someone's given a witness statement. I've numbered them all, and all of that was done using archival ink and various stamps, including, like, this one was for the witness statement. Just a really basic numbering stamp here for that. So now I've got to do the signatures on the bottom of them, and to fake like a cat signature, because yeah, it has to be a cat signature, I'm just going to use some stamps that are normally for like ink blobs. So we're going to do kind of a stamp there. Yep, that'll be our first one. Then our second one, actually, yep, there's a good one there. If I can just get that one. Or maybe he's going to come on there. Yep, okay, right, I'm cool with that curvy thing. Oops, sorry. And then our last one is going to be this little wee, this little wee blob up here, I think. So now I just want to clean off that and that. I could have masked them off, but meh. There, and I don't mind, again, don't mind that it's smudged. It kind of adds to the authenticity of it. Or that's what I'm telling myself it does. Right, so we've got that. So now, just to finish it off, we are going to fold that out the way and using red stays on, because I don't know that I've got a red archival ink. So, and we want, where are we going to stamp it? Yeah, these are all ready to go into our file. We've got our evidence log on the top. So I think they will, so they slot into the pocket there, which is good because they're quite flimsy. But I will just paper clip them on top. There, so that's our witness statements, and that can tuck into there, and we'll see. So now we're going to get on to the bit that's actually what the prompt is about. This is just kind of window dressing. So we've got to make some labels. An apothecary label. My base for my labels is going to be a sheet of A4 copier paper that I have tea and coffee dyed. It is 90 gram GSM, no, 110 gram presentation paper, and just dyed and, you know, tea and coffee dyed, how you normally tea and coffee dye, or how I normally tea and coffee dye. So what I want to do is just across the surface in no particular, like, random, like, yeah, no particular order, just totally random. I just want to put some, like, background stamping onto the sheet of paper. So for that I'm going to use, I'm going to try antique linen, but then I may go to some lighter archival ink if it's not kind of standing out enough. And the background, I'm just going to try like this stamp here for a start, because I want it to look like paper that has been previously used that is now being recycled by our cat into labels. Okay, so I misted the page with some water just because I wanted to, like, dilute it a wee bit more, and I've just finished drying it, and this is how we look now. I think it looks awesome. So I am going to die cut this into my different label sizes. Okay, I've die cut all of my labels. I've got 2 of every label, or 2 of every die cut that I did, plus I've got 3 of some of the smaller ones, just because that was the way I was able to fit them into their pages. I've come up with my brand name because Big Bad Bobo Ringy is trying to look like a legit businessman, even though we know he's not. So here we go. We're going to stamp on here. How he has access to all these things, I have no idea. But there we are. 9 lives. Yes, he can't spell, so the E and the S are back to front and upside down, or whatever it is. But I thought that was a cool product name. Brand name. Okay, so that's them all now inked around the edges. So they're stamped, they're inked around the edges. Now what we need to do is write product names on them, or stamp product names on them. So now there's the 2 sides of the business here. There's the catnip and what he is taking in exchange for the catnip, which he is then selling off to witches and wizards and warlocks. So we need catnip labels first. We've got to do the first labels for what he is selling, in effect, and that is catnip. So he is selling this to all the poor, desperate little wee kittens and the cats who need their fix. So he has bags of catnip, and this is what he's selling. So in exchange for the catnip, he is asking for, as payment, things like fur balls, which he then sells to witches, wizards and warlocks. That's hard to say. So we're going for, and these ones are going to be a little bit more fancier. So fur balls. So the more risque the body part, I mean the higher the price in terms of catnip. So you want to sell fur ball, you can get maybe 1 or 2 catnip. You want to sell whisker, you might get 4 or 5. And then of course we're getting up to like cat's claws. I mean, they're going to be pretty expensive. You know, maybe 6, 7, 8 catnip. But in return, of course, he's going to be selling them to witches for a pretty high price. So we're going to have, hang on, we need a slightly bigger label because it's going to be, there we go, we'll go for this one. Cat's claws. And of course, these are the labels that have been captured by the Annalise, the animal police, as evidence for what Big Bad Bobo Ringy is up to. And that's why they're going to be in our file. We need fingerprints. Now, I don't know if cats have fingerprints or not, but this is a cool stamp and I'm going to use it because I love it so much. Oh, that looks awesome. Now, I should probably stamp it where you can see what I'm doing. So here is the stamp. I'm just using Hickory Smoke ink and stamping randomly over here. That looks so cool. I love it. Yeah, I like it. Ah, yes, the stamp is as cool as I imagined. So this stamp, by the way, is called Fingerprint number 3632, and it's from Viva Las Vegas Stamps. And I bought it there when I was there, as I mentioned, in 2014, I think it was. So yeah, I've had it a while, but way cool. And hang on, we need to stamp some of the catnip ones as well, because that sort of ties up the loop. Got our police folder. Now, one more thing I need to do is on our envelopes we've got to stamp that this is, where are we? Hopefully I've got that all in. Evidence. Our labels, our Apothecary labels, are going to go into our envelope as evidence of the crimes that have been committed. So we're going to fold that over. I'm not going to seal it shut because I want to be able to get the labels out, but I will grab another one of my teeny weeny paper clips and seal across that. Now I know that that one's not got anything in it, but that was, both of these were part of my swap from Tanya. So now this is going to tuck into there and there. So here is our completed file folder. So we've got our evidential photos of our suspect. We have the evidence list. We've got our witness statements. Oops, I probably need to stamp filed on the evidence envelopes. And then we've got our evidence envelopes, and inside here are of course our Apothecary labels for the catnip that he's been selling, and also the cat's tails and cat's claws and whiskers that he has been taking as payment for the catnip. So I have had so much fun coming up with this story. Now, it is a story, none of it's true. We don't have a serial drug dealing cat in South Auckland or New Zealand at all. It is purely fictional. There is no company called 9 Lives, at least that I know of. I made that up in my head. So I hope you will forgive me. No harm was intended. No kitties or cats have been harmed in the making of this craft. Just some paper. I had fun. This has come together so well. I love it. I might just put a file name on here, but other than that, I think she is done. We need to put the date stamp on. That's what we do need to do. So this is for the 4th, isn't it? Isn't it? She says, questioning herself. The 4th, Apothecary labels, yes. So we need to, now I did decide that it needed to go in a pocket, so I've looked that up and I've got either this pocket page or this pocket page. I like that. Like it very much. I hope you have enjoyed watching this madness and listening to the story.